Hi everyone, I'm back with another breakdown. This time it's this industrial scene. There are two camera setups and two different lightings. So as usual, I was scrolling through Pinterest and I wanted to create something industrial related. So I went through um, a lot of references, and I found a photo of a dam and I searched for more info and found out that it's a dam in New Zealand. I thought, why not create something with this? So that's how it started. Obviously, it's not my original idea. I just saw the pictures and liked it so much that I thought of recreating it, but with my own ingredients. So let's break it down. I'm going to break down the weather shot because that's pretty much going to cover everything. Um, the the difference between the two shots are mainly the lighting. That's all. So the first thing you must have noticed is the plane on the left side. So it's just a guide to tell me not to render beyond this region. These railings or bars, I have made them using curves, and this is the texture I have used, and I've used basic cube projection. Then moving on to the platform, it is just a plane and subdivided a bit, and used a displace modifier to give it some bumps, and I used this texture to displace, and then used a concrete texture and made it darker using a mixed color node. For the water, I have used a cube and I use an add-on called Aquatic. It's kind of complicated with its node. I'm not even sure if I fully understand it, but it did the job. So it has a bunch of presets. You can add fountains and stuff. They are pre-made. But what I was interested in was the spawn material function. Here, as you can see, there are ready-made materials, so make sure you have a cube, and it doesn't work properly uh, without the cube. If you add a plane, it won't work properly. So add the cube and apply the material. I used the pond material in this scene, and now in the shader editor you can experiment with a bunch of settings. And as I said, I don't fully understand it. I just experimented and got the result which I was satisfied with. Now, before moving on, I would like to tell that some stuffs are kitbash pieces, like some walkways and handrails and a few pipes and the people, the train engine, and some small, decorative pieces like boxes and stuff, small props. Let me show you the bridges and walkways. So first, these base walls, they are just cubes, duplicated a bunch of times, and this texture I have used, it's from textures.com. By the way, all the unwrapping I will do is using cube projection. These side guards are just a plane and a bunch of cubes for metal bars. And I use a metal mesh texture, and it has an alpha in it. For the bars, I used this texture and edited the colors. This mesh is a kitbash piece. It's not difficult to model and texture, but to save some time I used these kitbash pieces. I mean, that's the whole point of using kitbash at the first place. This walkway is also made using a cube, and the middle part has a metal walkway texture with alpha, and the side parts uses this rusted metal texture. Talking about this bridge, as you can see, it's also simple, only using basic primitives, and I use Substance Painter to texture some meshes. You can watch my other videos if you want to see Substance Painter's process, because it's exactly the same. The video will become quite long if I show it here. For the rail tracks, I simply made it like this. And use this rusted metal texture. For these, I used a cube and an array modifier, then used the wooden plank texture. And for nuts and bolts, I used normal brown color. Let me show the bridge by dispersing it. This big platform where the main building sits uses two materials. I used two materials to break the repetition. In actuality, both are same materials using one single image. The only difference is the contrast. So I used this image and tweaked it a bit, and I combined with this image. Oh, sorry, not this image, but it's this image. I used the normal map from that image. These two are mixed using noise texture. Then on top I used two more images and mixed them using mix color node and putting it to soft light, and using curves and hue saturation to adjust the colors. And these are all mixed using noise texture again, and also used a bump node to give it some tiny bumps. These I didn't unwrap cause they aren't visible in the camera. Now let's see the main building, and the model is again nothing complex. Let me model and show it. It will be easy to understand that way. Gonna take a cube first and then put a loop cut. And then another loop cut. Extruding this part, going to bevel this edge. Applying the scale. Now going to select this face and duplicate it and make it a separate object. Now in setting this, delete that face, selecting the whole mesh and extruding it, scale it just a tiny bit. Selecting the edge, duplicating and separating it, and gonna fill it. Actually using this to boolean the main building. Now selecting the main building and applying a boolean modifier. Then apply the modifier. A fast way to apply modifiers all at once is to use the convert to mesh option. Now I will make the glass mesh. Similar method. There's the glass. Now making this side in a similar way. Now here there's some extended part. It was there in the original building as well. So I will bevel this corner. I forgot to apply the scale, so let's bevel again. Selecting the faces and extruding, I will put an overall bevel to them. Now adding those bars are simple. They are just cubes. You can either use an array modifier or using duplicates. I use duplicates, but in the end I join them, so it's better to use an array modifier. So now let me speed it up because most of the things will be the same. The other details like railings and walkways, doors are easy to model. So some places I use kitbash for cloth. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. I use this texture for the building. And using cube projection to unwrap. Here's the UV. For the pillars, I use the same texture. Now for this part, I actually used Substance Painter. Here's the texture, and I mixed another texture together with the Substance Painter's map. I only cared about this portion. And mix them using noise texture. There's another texture on top. It's this. For these above objects, I use this image. I think I used this area to project, or maybe this. Now the glass window, I use this texture image, this small area, and use this roughness image too. This glass is just a black color and mixed with translucency. The door is using this image. Just a cube. These are kitbash. For this I used substance again. Here's the texture. These are kitbash too. For the cloth I used a green tarp texture, and in the alpha I used this torn fabric image, which gives the illusion that it's ripped. These two are kitbash pieces. Now let's talk about the big wall. So the modeling was, as you can see, is simple. The most difficult part of this project was the texture of this wall. As you can see, the real wall was dark with lots of drips. So I tried a lot of combination of textures, but in the end I found two images and I combined them. This image from Megascan, and I used curves and hue saturation to tweak it. And this texture is from textures.com and mix them using noise texture. For these inside walls I used this image, and the UV map is a mess, but here it is. And for these I used the same texture. Let me show you the texture for this wall, or rather these walls. So I have used this image, and here's the UV. All the walls are actually using the same image. This part I didn't even UV. It's not visible in the camera. These walkways and railings are from kitbash, and some I modeled. These are made using curves. I have shown in my previous videos how to make them. Here there's no stairs, by the way, because this wasn't visible in the camera. So here these stairs are just a bunch of cubes, and I use the same wall texture. These beams are easy to make as well, and just I-beams they are called, I think. These are kitbash pieces. This part I modeled and used this texture. Something rusty, copied them a bunch of times. And these pipes are from Max Hay, I believe. Again, copied a bunch of times. The cables I made using curves and using an add-on called maybe a curved basher. I used a dark color to show the cables. These railings again, pretty simple to make. These I made using a plane, subdividing it and using the wireframe modifier, and used the yellowish color for the material. For this piece I used a bunch of cubes, then joined them and used the substance painter to texture it. Here's the texture. For the pipes I used substance painter again. For the big pipes I used substance painter. I have already shown my process of texturing in substance in my other videos, so let's skip it. Here's the texture of the pipes and the bolts. I hand painted these in substance. As you can see, the original had these strips too. Here's the texture. The nuts and bolts use the rusty texture. By the way, I forgot there were these leaks from the walls on the pipes. So I copied the faces from the pipes and used this transparent dirty texture as a decal to show the leaks and dirt, and use curves to darken it. Now what else is left? These walkways are kitbash pieces, and the texture I used is this, and again cube projected to my needs. These lifting machines are from Sketchfab and they have a single color as texture, as they are so far away. And these cranes have a white color, that's all. The sky I use is from Pexels, and actually I have tweaked it to make it look white, overcast sky. I realized just now I could have used a white color instead. But anyway, here's how the shader looks. Now let's see the volume setup. I have used two cubes and they have slightly different values. Here it is, and from the camera it looks like this. For the lighting in the wider shot, I used an HDRI which was cloudy, no sun in it. Change the brightness a bit. That's all for this wider shot lighting. For the close shot, I changed the lighting and made it sunny using a sun lamp, and used the same HDRI and used just a cube for the volume atmosphere. Honestly, it's looking great even without it. Here's the sunlight settings, and this is the HDRI. It's the same, no changes. Then here's the volume settings. That's it, and then rendered out and did some photo bashing and color correction in Photoshop. That's all for this breakdown. Thank you.